It's like without you I just fall apart, and I don't know what I'm heading into, 'cause all of my emotions flow in a way that I just can't control. 'Cause I'm new to this, I don't know how to act, but I feel alive with you. Take it easy on my heart, otherwise I fall apart. I'm alive with you. Take it easy on my heart, otherwise I fall apart. Alive, alive, alive. You got no limits, I like that you're free. I wanna be that way with you. Chasing highs to take the weight out of me. Far from lows, I don't ever feel blue. 'Cause all of my emotions flow in a way that I just can't control. 'Cause I'm new to this, I don't know how to act, but I feel alive with you. Take it easy on my heart, otherwise I fall apart. I'm alive with you. Take it easy on my heart, otherwise I fall apart. Alive, alive, I used to be so low, now I can't be alone. I used to be so, but I feel alive with you. Take it easy on my heart, otherwise I fall apart. Alive with you. Take it easy on my heart, otherwise I fall apart. Alive, alive, feel alive with you. Alive. I feel lost late at night in the dark. At least when I'm not with you, it's like without you I just fall apart, and I don't know what I'm heading into, 'cause all of my emotions flow in a way that I just can't control. 'Cause I'm new to this, I don't know how to act, but I feel alive with you. Take it easy on my heart, otherwise I fall apart. I'm alive with you. Take it easy on my heart, otherwise I fall apart. Alive, alive, alive. You got no limits, I like that you're free. I wanna be that way with you. Chasing highs to take the weight out of me. Far from lows, I don't ever feel blue. 'Cause all of my emotions flow in a way that I just can't control. 'Cause I'm new to this, I don't know how to act, but I feel
There we are. Hey, before we start, I got to read you something. This is fabulous. This is from one of your fellow yogis. I have to tell you that yoga has helped me a lot. I worked in the yard for 2 hours, cutting tree limbs, bending over, picking them up, and then bundling up for the trash men. My lower back didn't hurt one bit. You don't think yoga is doing much when you're doing it, but after today, I am a more confident believer. Let's hear it for more confident believers. If you want more flexibility, more mobility, if you just want to feel better off of your mat the other 23 hours of the day, this is the place to be. You're in the right place. I promise you that. And you can do this. Let's start. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. Most important thing, do what the bottom of the screen says. Do what's right for your body. Don't hurt it. Move a little bit. Every little bit helps. You'll be amazed. You'll be startled. You'll be fantastically delighted how good you feel after doing your yoga. And it's your yoga. Don't hurt your body. If one of these poses hurts, if something hurts, don't do it. Back out of it. Take it to a lesser percentage. Find what works for you, what makes you feel good. Every day is different. We practice for 1 hour straight, solid, start to finish. No cuts, no takes. It's just like being in a real class, but it's from the privacy of your own home. Every day is different. Make it to the practice all week long. Check it out. Every day is different. Friday especially different when we add in bar, we add in Pilates, we add in hand weights. We just want to shake it up because you got to shake it up to keep your body interested in the practice. Here's the word today. It's focus. So focus on your practice. Focus is the central point of your attention. Not so much how something looks, but I want you to focus on how something feels, how it feels for you. We're going to use props today as we practice. An eye shade and a towel. I'm thinking ahead to Final Shavasana, my favorite pose. Going to use those. If you don't have an eye shade, no big deal. Just have a little hand towel handy. All right, as we focus, let's find our blocks. 2 blocks. You're going to want to use those. If you don't have those, buy them. You can get them for the next practice because you'll be back tomorrow. A yoga strap you might want to use. I'm going to use it in boat pose today. You decide how you want to use your strap. If it makes a pose easier, go for it. If it makes a pose more challenging, go for it. It's just a prop. Water, you're going to want that too. You want your water to wet your whistle. Let's start. All right, come on up to standing. Nothing's holding you back. You got this. Just you're here. You're here. So let go of the doubt. Come on up to standing. Focus on a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 to 10. Oh, that camera. All right, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Where are you? What's going on in your body? Give it a number, assign it a number like they do in the doctor's office, frowny face to smiley face, and we'll come back to it. Don't overthink it. First of all, we do a little warm-up, and our warm-up is very similar every day because it gets the big muscles moving and it gets the blood flowing. Let's focus on the feelings, gently welcome movement into your body with an extended mountain. Lift your arms high up to the sky. Root into your feet. Maybe you're barefoot. I hope you're barefoot because let your toes move independently as well. Interlace your fingers, palms up toward the sky. Put a bend in your elbows if that feels better. Gently sway from side to side. Now don't think for a minute, oh, I just can't interlace my fingers. That's okay. Sway gently from side to side. The idea here, what you want to feel here, is this lateral flexion, the sideways movement. You want to feel kind of stretch between the ribs. What does that take for you to get that feeling? Chin away from your chest, top shoulder back. Reach to the opposite side of your room. I like the interlaced fingers. You make the yoga work for you. I'm just here to guide you and show you possibilities and to hold space for you in your day, to just come here and show up. That's the biggest step. All right, sideways movement. How else does your spine move? Let's take it into a little back bend. So bring your hands behind your low back, push your belly forward, squeeze your elbows toward your spine, open up through your chest, look up toward the sky, maybe look up a little higher toward the sky and push your hips forward. Breathe, little baby back bend. Exhale now. Exhale, sigh it out your mouth, hinge forward at the waist. Come to as low as feels right for you. Think of your body folding in half. Put a little bend in your knees. Crown of your head toward the earth. Fingers toward the earth, they don't have to touch. Widen your stance if that feels better. What do you feel? You want to feel some goodness. Up the back of your thighs. Feel the goodness, feel the decompression of your spine. Shake your neck. Loosen your head up. Loosen your head up. There you go. I like that cue. Loosen your head up. Loosen your neck. Shoulders are soft. Fingers are reaching toward the earth.
You're folding in half. Really suck in your belly. Think of your belly button going towards your spine as you fold in half. Inhale, slowly roll on up. One vertebra on top of the other, coming up to standing. Nothing wrong with having your countertop nearby or a chair or something to hold on to for balance. No big deal. All right, tee out your arms, start to do some arm circles. Wake up the shoulders. Hello, Liz. Hello, Stan. Hello, Esther. Hello, Tammy, Marietta, Kelly, Tina, Rena, Roger, Tim. I'm glad you guys are here. All right, circle your fingers to the back of the room. Shoulders, maybe a little bend in your shoulders, maybe not such a big circle. Maybe your palms are like washing the windows on the sides of your wall. Just reach. Maybe you lengthen your chest, lengthen the crown of your head up to the sky, open up through your chest, draw bigger circles maybe toward the back of the room and then toward the front of the room. And don't forget, shoulders are waking up. Let's wake up the knees. Put a good bend in your knees and then come on up. Keep bending the knees. Maybe you do it in concert. When the hands go down, the knees bend, arms go up, knees straighten. So you do what feels good for you. Just wake up those knees. They're ornery in the mornings especially, but strengthen your knees. Oh, so important. All right, come on back up to a standing position. Shoulders are soft, arms are down by your sides. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, soften up. In your shoulders. Should be softened down, shouldn't it? Let the shoulders go. Start to twist from side to side. Look over one shoulder, then the other. Breathe in through your nose. And audibly sigh it out through your mouth. Truly, it is proven that the exhale, audible, big sigh, releases pressure, releases tension, just calms the mind, gets rid of stress. Breathe out. Let it go. Take your twist a little deeper. Bring that shoulder further back. Look further over your shoulder. Breathe. And then bring it back to center. All right, ragdoll pose. Remember, focus on the feeling. Hands to opposite elbow creases, that old I Dream of Jeannie pose. Root into your feet. Exhale, hinge forward. Look down to your feet. Your feet are about hip width distance apart. Wiggle your knees a little bit. Wiggle your bottom. Just soften up here and just kind of float into the pose. You are doing it absolutely right. You're doing it right if it doesn't hurt. Look back towards your knees or up towards your belly button. Soften in your jaws. Now start to sway your arms from side to side. Think of your elbows drawing a sideways number 8 on your mat. What should you be feeling here? Well, it's a decompression of your low back. You should feel this in your low back. I hope it feels awesomely wonderful. You take it to what feels right for you. And if you don't like your arms crisscrossed like this in an I Dream of Jeannie style, release your fingers to the mat and just kind of, we say spider walk them over to one foot. Just wiggle your fingers, bring them over to one side, then over to the other. Just feel the nice stretch in your low back. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. All right, your body's kind of warmed up. The blood is starting to flow. Let's place our fingers down on our mat, bend your knees, and come on down. We're going to do a child's pose. Now you can use those blocks you've got if you want, or no blocks at all. All right, I'll show you a couple of ways to do this. Now, we welcomed our body to move, to get the blood flowing. Now let's welcome our mind to just focus and to just let go. All right, child's pose. Do you like it with knees together, big toes touching, hips back towards your heels? Arms or block underneath your forehead maybe. Arms down by your sides. Shoulders are soft and away from your ears. Do you like this pose this way? Perhaps you would prefer no block at all and bring your forehead down to the ground. Or maybe I've mentioned half-size blocks. That's an option too. Blocks that are a little bit shorter to let you come a little bit closer to the ground. A wide-legged child's pose is another option. Knees spread wide, hips back towards your heels. The block can be under your forehead. You can have no block at all and bring your forehead down to the mat. Reach and stretch your arms high to the top of your mat. Or those blocks, have those at the top of your mat and put your hands on them. So many ways to do it. The right way is the way that feels really good for you. So, focus on the feeling. Take a moment. What do you like in the variation you're in? What do you want to change in the variation you're in? If it hurts, don't do it. If it's uncomfortable, maybe that's your body saying, maybe I do need to do this more. Maybe I do need to try. All right, hands on the blocks is a little bit harder. It's more into the shoulders. Forehead down on the mat is a little bit, I will say, harder. But you do what's right for you today. Knees spread wide. In either pose, your knees are getting a nice wake-up call. The tops of your feet are on your mat, so your ankles are getting a nice stretch. If your arms are reaching long, you're back into the shoulders again. Maybe press into the mat or press into the blocks. Take a deep breath in through your nose and another big sigh out through your mouth. And then if you like, engage what's called Ujjayi Pranayama breathing. That is really, the most efficient way for our bodies to breathe. If it's comfortable for you, close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose. Build heat in your body. Focus inward, the sound of your breath. Let everything else go. Forget everything else that you're going to do today or things that have happened. The past is the past. The future hasn't happened yet. Just enjoy this moment. Your breath. Let the body go to where it wants as your mind gets out of the way. All right, child's pose. You can stay here longer if you want. I'd kind of like to stay here longer today, but I'm going to talk you through the practice. You stay as long as you like. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Bring your knees under your hips. Neutral tabletop. You know that one. All right, so you look like a tabletop. Press the tops of your feet into your mat. Push into the earth with your hands. We're going to do cat-cow now. So another back into the spine pose. All right, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky, push into your hands, push into the tops of your feet. Inhale, cow pose. Crown of your head goes up toward the sky and your tailbone lifts too. So do some cat-cows your way. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Feel what you feel in your neck, in your low back. Focus on the feeling. You're moving your spine in the shape of a C in one direction and then like a backwards C when you move it in the other direction. You exhale as you tuck your chin and tailbone under for cat. It lets you bring your navel toward your spine. It makes you feel like you're really curving that C even more. And you inhale for cow, taking your belly to the mat, chin up toward the front of the room, crown of the head up toward the sky, and tailbone to the sky too. Breathe through your cat-cow. All right, let's move the spine again in another way. Let's come into a neutral tabletop. Extend your right foot long. Press the ball of your foot into the mat. Nice stretch up that entire right leg. Cross that extended right leg over the midline of your body. Squeeze high in the upper thighs. Press the foot into the earth. Push into the hands. Look over your left shoulder, back to your foot, your knee, your bottom. When you're ready, head comes back to look between your hands. Right leg sweeps around to the side of your mat. Maybe bring the foot to about hip height. Maybe. And then maybe lift the right arm up to the sky. Twist, look up to your hands. Don't forget, try to look up to your hand. Exhale, hand comes down, knee comes back to meet the other knee on the mat. Other side, left leg extends, ball of the foot pushes into the mat. You're strong, push your hands into the mat too. It's those little changes that add up, right? When you're ready, cross the left leg over the midline of the body, plant the foot on the earth, press into your hands, look over your right shoulder, back as far as you can see, maybe to the foot, to the ankle, to the knee, to the bottom. Sweep the left leg around, bring it to what feels right for you, maybe hip height. Plant the foot, lift the left arm up to the sky, look up to the hand.
Exhale, hand comes down, leg comes back, let the knees meet. Bird dog pose. This is a big one too. Lift your right leg up, knee to about hip height. Maybe lift it a little higher, feel it in your low back. Extend the right leg long. Dial your right hip down so your hips are equal distant to the mat. Push the weight into your hands, keep the leg extended long. Reach through your heel of the right foot. Add in the left arm if you like. You can take one of those blocks to the top of your mat, put your hand on it, stretch it out. Or, no block at all, spread your fingers wide, thumb up like a hitchhiker. Push into the earth, stretch and lengthen here. Breathe in, breathe out, obviously, right? Don't hold your breath. Push into the earth, it helps with the balance. Hand down, knee meets knee. We have another side to do. Extend your left leg long. Remember, the knee is at about hip height, and your left hip is dialed down. Reach the right arm to the block, or reach it long to the top of your mat. Push into the earth. And I mean even push into the top of that right foot now. Push into the left hand. Reach, reach, reach. Lengthen your spine. Find a decompression here. Reach through your heel as well. Right hand down, left knee down. Do it again a little faster. Right leg and left arm, reach and stretch. Earth is pushed. Hand and knee come down. Other side. Stretch, lengthen. You've got it. Hand to knee to the ground. Extend and reach. Right leg, left arm. Stretch a little farther. Hand down, knee down. Right arm, left leg. You got it. Hand down, knee down, forearm stretch. Take your fingers, bring them back so they're pointing towards your knees. Forearm shines forward. You wiggle your hips here to what feels good in that forearm. Get the stretch going in the forearm. Maybe hips wiggle left to right. Maybe you send your bottom more back towards your heels. Just feel a good stretch in the front, your forearms. Breathe. Let it feel good. Close your eyes. Focus on the feeling. Breathe. All right, so bring your hands back to a natural position. Wiggle your fingers. Let's grab these two blocks. All right, so let's go now. We did a lot with the spine. Let's go now to our foundation. What's our foundation? Our feet. You want to start from the ground up. Toes pose. Draw your toes towards your shins. Have your blocks by your sides. Bring your hands to your thighs. Sit back onto your heels if it feels okay. All right, so think about it. We did our little warm-up, which included a lot with our spine. We got into our body, we got into our mind, we moved our spine. Now we're working from the ground up. We're working our feet, our foundation. Toes pose, stretch the fascia in your feet. Be able to use your feet more efficiently. Stretch and move those toes and the feet so you've got mobility in your foundation. Sit back onto your heels a little bit more. If it's uncomfortable, you can do it. If it's painful, don't do it. You know pain. You can distinguish between pain and discomfort. I don't think this is a particularly comfortable pose, but it is also not painful for me. All right? You assess in your body, because remember, you're your own best teacher. Maybe, if you need a little break, come on up. Ooh, let it go. Sit back into the toes. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands. You can do lots of things with them. You can bring them to prayer center, and you can have a little mantra. And my little kind of mantra today is focus on the feeling. But maybe you're saying, I am strong, I am capable, I am improving. That would be the best statement. I'm getting better each and every day. You can bring your hands down to your thighs and just soften in the shoulders, bringing your shoulders back more over your hips. Or bring your arms behind your back and reach for opposite elbows and open up through the chest, whatever you like. Breathe. This is your toes pose. Okay, we're going to come out of it, I promise, after one more big cycle of breath. So just really let go in the toes. Let them stretch. You're not going to be here much longer. Let it go. Now let's come out of it. You got your two blocks by your sides. Bring the tops of your feet onto your mat and have a seat back onto the tops of your feet. You got your blocks. Push into them. Let your knees come up and balance on the tops of your feet. This is your ankle pose. You're taking this pose in the opposite direction. Push into your blocks. Or, you don't have the blocks, you can put your hands down, push into your hands, and let your knees come up, but keep them together. You're balancing on the tops of your feet. Take a moment here, and what feels right for you? Do you want to take it farther? What feels good? Take it to what feels right for you. This is your ankle pose. It's the counter pose to that toes pose. Sometimes we flow it. We go from toes to ankles and back again. Today we're just taking a little more time. Doing one set and just taking a little more time. All right, let's come out of this ankle pose. Come to a neutral tabletop. All right, in your neutral tabletop, you know this, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch them, circle your ankles this way and that, then tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. All right, next big thing we're gonna do is the core. All right, you wanna start with the big things, and we'll get into the smaller things. All right, so for your plank, we're gonna do a 1 minute plank. We're gonna set a timer so you can time how long you stay. Lots of ways to take it. If you're new to planking, come on, get ready, get set up. If you're new to planking, you can come down onto your back. You can take your blocks, press them up toward the sky and hold here, and just imagine that these blocks are the ground and you're 180 degrees out and you're in a plank position. Totally fine, enjoy it, have fun with it. Another variation is a high plank. You could take your hands, plant your hands, shoulders over your wrists. Legs can go long and you can hinge forward and push the ground away and stay here in your high plank. You could take a knee plank down on your knees, hinging the weight more forward into your hands. Press into the earth. Forearm plank, forearms down to the mat, elbows under shoulders. Knees can be planted or toes can be tucked and legs can be lifted. I'm gonna take a knee plank today, because why not? Shake it up, do something different. I'm gonna send my knees back, I'm gonna walk my hands forward, hinging the weight into my hands, and we're gonna set a timer now. All right, 1 minute timer. It's up on the screen. It's for you to just assess, how you're doing in your plank. Your plank, think about this for a second. Push into your hands. When you're in a plank pose, everything is engaged. All right, we are already almost 20 seconds in. So when you need to take breaks, you can drop to your knees. If you're in a high plank, you can send your hips high to the sky. But just push the earth away and be strong. Be strong in your arms, be strong in your core. Everything is engaged here. I read an article, 30 seconds in. I read an article not too long ago that even the tongue is engaged. Boy, their tongue is a powerful muscle. Even the tongue is engaged in a plank. Everything is engaged. All right, we've got 15 seconds to go. Hold on here. Give it one last good push. You've got it. Think about your belly being strong and taut and engaged in these last 5 seconds. And when you're ready, just push, and we are done now. All right, come out of your plank. Whichever variation you took, it's all good. Maybe grab a drink of water. Shake it up. If you're always doing high plank, and I tend to always go for high plank, we always want to do 110%. Take a different variation. Shake it up, and let your body kind of wonder what's coming next. All right, let's do a boat pose. Okay, take your strap if you like. Before you do the strap, let's do something. Let's rock on the spine a little bit to wake the spine up. If you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, you shouldn't rock on your spine, but check with your doctor. You and your doctor know best. All right, so I'm gonna rock and roll on my spine. It kind of helps build confidence in your mobility too. So I'm gonna come on down with control, and then I'm gonna send my legs up, and then come back up. All right, maybe reach through your arms. Maybe arms go up, legs go up. Rock on up and reach forward. Just rock and roll your spine a little or a lot. You know what feels good for you. How often do you do this? Not very often, right? Just have some fun with it. Reach, lengthen, and then when you're ready, come on up to seated. All right, so just have fun with it, right? Okay, hands can be behind your knees. Lean on back like you're in a recliner, or you can use your strap. I usually use the strap on Monday just to shake it up and do something a little different. Tomorrow, I'll do a really big boat pose without the strap. If you want, your call. Lean on back, lift your heels on up, straighten through the legs, hug your elbows in, and hold it right here. So you're back into the core again. Breathe. Lengthen up through your chest. Put a smile on your face. Perhaps a little bend in your knees feels good. Totally your call. And just challenge your balance here a little bit. Maybe lean on back a little bit more. You know the sweet spot where you feel really challenged. Oh, and your core is engaged. And when you're ready, let's row the boat. All right, you can hold on to your strap. Dip one elbow toward one side, then the other elbow toward the other side. Or you can ditch the strap. Legs can be lifted, or put your soles of your feet on your mat. Twist in the waist, so getting back into a controlled twist. And one elbow dips, the other elbow dips. Feet can be lifted if you want. Row your boat your way. All right, so these little controlled twists are good for you. All right, let's finish up. Come on back to a seated position. Hug your knees in, draw them in, heels close to your bottom, forearms wrapped around your shins. Roll into a little ball because you can. Maybe push the weight up onto your toes. Hold on here, lean on back, and then finish. Plant your feet. Let's go into the big muscles in the hips, and then we'll go into some balancing. All right, so maybe crisscross at the ankles. Find your blocks. Come on up, and let's switch it around. Come on up to standing on your knees. You got your blocks here. We do lunges a lot. All right, knee over ankle of the right leg. Left leg, push into the blocks. Send your left leg long. Feel the nice big stretch in your left hip flexors. Shoulders are over your hips. Breathe here. All right, so big stretch here, let it be. If you want, you can lift your arms up to the sky and take a baby back bend. Gaze forward, hands back to prayer center. Focus on the feeling, and what are you feeling here? Should be a big stretch in that left hip. Now it's kind of fun to surf. So you're gonna stretch and bend in the right knee. So extend the right leg long. Heel stays on the ground. You can walk back with the blocks. You can sit on your bottom if you like, or come close to it. Walk the blocks forward and surf. This is your surfing. Maybe you straighten the leg a little bit, holding on to the blocks. Maybe you bend it really far forward to the ankle, and then send the hips on back. You decide, maybe you keep the blocks there. That's a nice stretch. Or maybe as you're surfing, you bring the blocks with you, thinking of these blocks as, bringing the ground up to you. So surf it out. Surf, surf, surf. And come back to that starting position. Knee over ankle, blocks by your sides. Press into your right foot. Maybe tuck your back left toes. Straighten to come to standing on the right leg. Send your left leg high to the back of the room. Look down toward your knee. Breathe. Bring your left foot to meet your right. Right foot steps back, nice and big. Come down onto that knee. Bring the top of the right foot onto the mat. Send the right leg really good and long to feel the nice stretch in the right hip flexor now. Hands can stay on the blocks. Shoulders can come over the hips. All of these are, if you want, options. Arms can lift. Take a baby back bend by looking up to the sky and reaching your fingers more toward the back of your room. Exhale, look forward, hands to prayer center. Focus on the feeling in that hip. And pat your knee. If you want to put a blanket or a towel or fold the mat over to focus on the knee, that's fine too. Maybe you stay right here. Now surf if you want. You know the degree to which you want to take it. Just bend and straighten the left leg. Using the blocks, maybe walk the hips back. Feel what feels good. Feel what feels like a little bit of a challenge. Maybe a little bit of a challenge is to do it without the blocks. Hands at prayer center. Breathe. Surf it out. Let it feel really good. Get into those big hip sockets. Get into those glutes. You got big muscles back there. Use them. All right, let's finish surfing. Hands can come back to your blocks or down to the ground. Tuck your right toes in towards your shin. Straighten the left leg. Send the right leg up to the sky. Lift it. Breathe. Bring the right foot to meet the left. When you're ready, roll your spine up one vertebra at a time. Come on up to standing. All right, let's do some balancing. Okay, so a little different variation of your balancing today. We do that a lot, but you are strong foundation in your feet, strong foundation in your feet. Hips are mobile, pretty strong, right? Okay, so for our balancing, you will look taller. You can do it against a wall. You can do it freestanding. Let's bring our body to the shape of a letter Y. Legs are together, arms lift wide. Big letter Y for the word you. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Big letter W, elbows down. Again, press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. 2 L's, forward and backward, hugging the elbows in. T for taller, pulse out the arms. And oh my gosh, here you go. Take it to the wall. Whew, this is hard. Doing it on the wall is really hard. You would think, oh, doing it against the wall is easier. All right, press your bottom into the wall. Lift your arms up. Oh, that wall is farther back than you think. Press the backs of your hands into the wall. W for will. Ooh, keep the backs of your hands on the wall. 2 L's, forward and backward. Press your hands into the wall. T out your arms. There's your word, taller. Press the backs of the hands into the wall. That is really, really, really hard. I think the wall makes it super, super hard. One more time, I'm going to do it away from the wall. You will look taller. How's that? All right, so that's just a variation. Take it on the wall if you want. Okay, so now we're going to do tree. All right, so that makes you look taller. Send your shoulders back like your shoulders are back when you do your open book or when you do fish pose. Stick around, come back more often and we'll do those poses too. Tree pose, I'm gonna balance on my left leg, open up my right knee to the side of the room. Ball of the foot can be on the ground, hands can be on the hips. Maybe bring the foot up into the calf, inside of the calf of the left leg. Maybe use a chair for balance, it's all good. Maybe bring the foot higher up into the leg. Push the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. Ensure that your hips are equidistant to the front of your room. And here's where you really gotta, that F word, you really gotta focus. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe your hand is on a chair, maybe your hand is on your hips, or maybe you grow branches in your arms. Send your hands up toward the sky. Look to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Sway your branches this way and that. Let it be. All right. You are solid in that foundation of your foundational leg. Hands back to prayer center. I'll talk you through so you can keep your focus on the wall where the ceiling and the wall meet. Release your foot from your leg and bring your knee toward the front of the room. Have your knee at hip height. Hold it here. Circle your ankle of the right foot this way and that. Take your hands, interlace your fingers underneath your right knee. Hug in the knee. You've got it. Hold it here. You can do it. Release your hands. Knee still stays at hip height. Your thigh is parallel to the earth. Lift your arms up to the sky. A one-legged mountain. We've done this one. You are strong. Get your balance. Build your bone density. You can do it. All right. Straighten your right leg. Point your toes to the front of the room. Hold it. Now, the right leg, bring it big toe side to cross the midline of your body. Maybe your arms are still lifted. Maybe you put your hands on your hips. Bring the leg back to the midline. Then open the toes up. Send them to the right corner of your room. Now take your right knee, bend it. Bring the leg back. Cross the midline of your body and pulse the foot up, up, up. Good balance. You've got it. Bring the knee back to meet the left knee. Bring the right foot down. Oh my goodness. Balancing, cross-body movements. You got it going on. All right, that's that leg. Balance on the right leg. Weight out of the left. Bring the knee to the side of the room. Place the sole of the foot wherever you want. Maybe you're thinking, this time, I'm going to take it easier. You do what's right for you. Bring the foot to wherever you like, but remember, don't put the foot on the knee. Not good to put the foot on the knee. Push the leg into the foot into the leg. Hands to prayer center or on the hips. Hold it here. Breathe in, breathe out. Focus. Grow branches if you want. Challenge you. Nobody else to challenge, just you. When you're ready, guide the left knee to the front of the room, bringing the thigh parallel to the earth. Maybe arms go high and lifted. Focus right here. Maybe bring the arms down, interlace the fingers underneath the left knee. I'm so focused up where the ceiling and the wall meet, I'm not even looking at the screen of the camera. I hope you're doing the same thing. Focus. Maybe circle the ankle. You got it going on. Nice job. Circling, circling, circling. All right, come back to your one-legged mountain or hands on your hips. Lots of ways to take it. Extend the right leg in front of you. Toes point. This time extend the leg back behind you, pointing to the back of the room. Bring them forward again. Forward. Point them back. A little muscle confusion, right? Hands can be on your hips. Don't sweat it. Bring the toes forward. Cross the midline of the body, so sending the foot to the toe side. Send it back. The leg back behind you, reaching out. Ooh, feel that in your glutes. Bring the foot forward, right in front of you, pointing the toes forward. Open it up to the pinky side, pointing forward. Bring it behind you. Ooh, big toes. Foot reaches to the back. Cross the midline of the body. Squeeze in your upper inner thighs. Bring the leg back to a one-legged mountain. Oh, one-legged mountain sounds like a resting pose now, doesn't it? Hold it. Plant the left foot next to the right. Hands to prayer center. Be glad that one's over. What do you think? Confusion, cross body, makes the brain think, rewires what you got. It's all good. All right, hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out, let it go. Forward fold, downward facing dog. All right, you know this one so well. All right, hinge forward, fingers reach toward the earth. Remember, starting out this way, look back to your knees, wiggle your knees, bottom up toward the sky. Walk your hands forward, bring your body into the shape of a V. All right, feet step back, feet are hip width distance apart. Hands are shoulder width distance apart, fingers spread wide. Little bend in your knees might feel good here. Heels slightly elevated from the mat. Start to pedal out your heels, bringing one heel closer to the earth than the other. Adjust your feet so this is a comfortable challenge. Breathe. Shake your neck, loosen your neck. Gaze should be back towards your ankles, your knees, whatever it takes to let your neck feel loose. Send your hips high to the sky, tailbone high to the sky. Breathe. This is your downward facing dog. Your body is an inverted V. Decompression on the spine, pedaling out the backs of the legs. Let it feel awesomely wonderful. Does it feel awesomely wonderful? Good. All right, finish. Bend your knees. Bear plank. You know this one. Hover your knees just slightly above the mat. You're pushing into your hands again. Re-engaging all those big muscles. Just kind of shaking everything up. We did some balancing. We did some core. We did a little bit of everything so far. Come on down to your knees. Bring your right knee up behind your right wrist. Half pigeon pose. Left leg long on your mat. Work your right shin. I got to grab my right foot. Work the shin a little more parallel to the top of the mat. Left leg long and straight on the mat. Press into your arms. Feel the goodness in those big muscles in your backside. You can stay right here. Or bring your forearms down to a block or down to the mat. Let your head rest on your arms. Breathe in, breathe out. Press out of it. Straighten your hands, straighten your hands, straighten your elbows, press into your hands. Tuck your back left toes under. Send your right leg back, downward facing dog, but just on 3 legs. Right leg lifts. Circle the leg around, lots of different ways. Let the leg cross the midline of the body a little bit. Bring it out. Maybe even do like a, fire hydrant and a donkey kick. Just feel mobility. Appreciate mobility. Don't appreciate it till it's gone. Right foot plants. Left foot lifts high. Exhale. Bring the left knee behind the left wrist. Half pigeon on this side. Top of the right foot on your mat. Work your left shin a little more parallel to the top of the mat. Kind of move your hips a little bit and feel how it alters and changes in your glutes. All right, a lot of times I say when we're in this pose where I'll put a block under your left glute so you can't collapse into that left glute. But today, just feel what you feel. Focus so you know what you're going for, the sensation in the left glutes. Press into your hands. Stay right here if you like. Come on down to your blocks on your forearms on the block if that feels good. Lower all the way down to the forearms. Lots of ways to take variations. Maybe elbows are wide, hands are crossed, resting on each other, and you rest your head on your hands. This is your half pigeon pose. We'll do a longer half pigeon pose on Thursday and Sunday, and we'll do a quick half pigeon pose on Tuesday and Saturday. Oh, we just shake it up all the time. That's the key to success. Plant your hands. Tuck your back right toes under. It's your turn to shake your left leg out. How do you want to do it? So you're in your three-legged down dog. Move that left leg. Maybe lift it to the side like fire hydrant. Maybe kick it back to the wall, to the ceiling. Maybe cross the midline of your body. That kind of adds a layer of interest. And you open up the hip. Finish up. Plant the feet. Pedal it out. Take the dog for a walk, as we say. Pedal one heel closer to the earth than the other. Really get into the knees. Really get into the hips. Get some movement going on. Plant your knees. Come on down and have a seat. All right. I'm going to grab a drink and put your eye shade and your towel up near your shoulders. We'll get there eventually. All right, legs go long on your mat. Remember how we, the other day, we did a lot of Pilates, like sit-ups, roll-ups? Reach your arms forward, seated forward fold. Reach your fingers forward, toes up toward the sky, let it be. Reach your arms up toward the sky, and then come on down with control. Hold on to your core, strong core. Reach the arms high overhead. Lift the arms back up to the sky. Think of being pulled up to the sky in the arms. Have a seat. Reach forward, seated forward fold. Gaze down to your knees. Capture your feet, your ankles. Draw the elbows in. Bring your gaze towards your knees. Lift on back up. Shoulders over hips. Arms go up. Come on down. Your heels are going to slide, 6 or 8 inches. Reach, stretch, you've got it. When you're ready, roll on back up. Reach forward. Reach for your feet, your ankles. Look to your knees. Come on up. Shoulders over hips. Cross the right leg over the left. Reach forward with parallel arms. Reach fingers, parallel arms up to the sky. Exhale, roll down with control. Arms reach overhead. Exhale, reach up to the sky. Reach forward, reach for your ankles. Hug the elbows in, nose toward your knee. Inhale, roll up, shoulders over hips. Arms go high, crisscross the ankles so the other leg is on top, left leg on top. Reach, find length. Reach forward and find length in your low back. Reach for your ankles, elbows hugged in, nose to knee. Inhale, shoulders up, arms go high, roll it on back with control, because you are in control. Breathe. Inhale, arms go up to the sky. Arms pull up to the sky. Arms reach forward, reach down for your feet. Elbows hugged in, nose to knee. One more time. Your pace. Lower down, all the way down. Arms reach up toward the sky. Up we go. Forward we go. Gaze to your knees, just fold. Shoulders over hips, legs go long. Fold one more time, forward. Inhale, shoulders over your hips. Nice job. All right, so that was a little bit of kind of almost like a static stretching. I mean, just stretching, reaching, flowing through. Come all the way down. Have your blocks nearby. Come all the way down to your back. Once on your back, let's do a little bound angle pose here. Bend your knees. Open up your knees wide to the sides of your mat. Soles of your feet touch. Arms, bend your elbows generously. Bring your biceps up by your shoulders so they're bringing your forearms parallel to the sides of your mat so your arms look like a cactus, a reclined goddess pose, if you will. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Stay here if you want. I'm going to bring my knees together, bringing the soles of my feet onto my mat, arms down by my sides. I've got the 2 blocks. All right, let's do a bridge pose. The blocks are by my side. I'm gonna, knees are bent, send the hips high up to the sky, arms down by your sides, send your hips high up to the sky. I'm gonna take my 2 blocks, I'm gonna have them at a stable height, and I'm gonna bring them right next to each other, creating a big surface area for my bottom. And then I'm gonna let my bottom come onto these blocks. I'm gonna do a pontoon pose. Gonna send my legs long and straight on my mat. Nice big stretch in the front of your hips here. How do you like it? Stay here if you want. Breathe in and breathe out. Let it be and have fun with it. All right, so I've created a big surface for my bottom. So I'm just kind of laid out here. Let it feel good. Stay here if you want. I'm going to do a supine twist next. So you can go back to a bridge pose and pull the blocks out, or we're going to switch the orientation of the blocks and do the supine twist on the blocks. It's a little different. All right, if you want to join me in doing that, here we go. Bend your knees, soles of your feet are on your mat. The blocks, which are that big stable surface, I'm going to switch them. So I've got like a long, skinny surface under my back. So I'm going to place the 2 blocks side by side, short end to short end. And I'm going to place it under my bottom because I'm going to do a supine twist. And I want to be able to have support from side to side, right? If you don't want to do it on the blocks, don't do it on the blocks. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Send my legs long again. Here's a pontoon pose. Not as comfortable as the pontoon when it has the bigger surface. I'm going to bend my right knee. I'm going to hug my right knee in toward my chest. Circle the ankle. Left leg, don't neglect it. Draw the toes up toward the shin. If you're not on the blocks, have your shin firmly planted on your mat. I'm going to still my right foot. I'm going to take my left hand and guide my right knee across the midline of my body, rolling on these blocks. That feels pretty good. And you'll know if those blocks are in the right spot, 'cause you don't want to roll off them. All right, tee out your right arm, look to the right. Let the left hand grab the right knee and work it toward the earth. Look to the right. Take this big twist. So lots of things are going on here. You can take the twist a little deeper, and your left leg is elevated. And you are, knowingly or not, you're kind of holding on a little bit because of this, I won't say unstable surface beneath you, but a different surface beneath you. So you're a little challenged here. Bring the right hip back down. Hug the right knee in one more time. Send the right leg long on your mat. Check out your blocks. You want to have enough room to be able to twist to the right without falling off. Right leg goes long, left knee bends. Hug the left knee in. Circle the ankle around and around. Right hand captures the left knee. Roll a little bit onto the right hip. The blocks feel good underneath your hips, your bottom as well. Just kind of a little massage. Right hand kind of to the outside of the left knee. Let the knee work toward the earth as you tee out your left arm. And you gaze over your left shoulder. Feel what you feel. Nice big twist. And an uncertain twist at that, right? And it feels just like you can take it a little bit deeper because the ground is further away. So you're twisting maybe a little bit more. Come on back to hips down on those blocks or your mat. Hug the left knee in. Send the left leg long. Take a brief little pontoon pose. Drag both heels up. Send both legs up to the sky. Point your toes. Then draw your toes toward your shin. Bend your knees. Soles of your feet come down. Press on up in your hips. Remove your blocks. Come on down, bring your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Send your left leg long, bend your right knee, hug your right knee in underneath the right knee. Hug it in, feel what you feel. Bring the right knee toward the right armpit. Bend the left knee, hug the left knee toward the left armpit. Big and strong here, hold it in. Both knees towards both armpits, rock a little bit from side to side. Maybe reach your hands down inside your calves, capture what you can. Maybe you capture your heels, Ananda Balasana, happy baby. One leg straightens, the other leg bends. Then the other leg straightens and the other leg bends. When you're ready, finish up. Send both legs up to the sky. Ankles glued together, knees glued together. Slowly with control, lower down your straight legs. Core is tight. Feel the goodness here. Feel your tailbone all the way down on your mat. Let's find our blocks. Now you can come into your final Shavasana. You can do a longer fish pose through final Shavasana, or you can do a brief little fish pose with me and then final Shavasana. So many choices. All right, 2 blocks. You're seated. Bring the blocks onto your mat at a stable height, or if you prefer, take them up, kick them up a notch. All right, they're like the letter T. You're seated on your bottom. Have your bottom down. This vertical block, place it between your shoulders. The other block is a pillow for your head. Rest your skull on it. Feel the opening through the shoulders. I got to scoot down a little bit or scoot that one block up a little higher to get it between my shoulders. You never get it right the first time. Don't sweat it. Move the blocks. You want to feel opening through the chest. Big opening through the chest. You want to feel like you're hugging the block from behind with your shoulder blades. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. You want to feel the big opening through your pectoral muscles. You want to feel like, wow, I can breathe so well. My chest is open. Your legs can be long and straight. Your knees can be bent. Soles of your feet on your mat. That feels a little better on the low back. You can open up your knees to the side of the room, bringing the soles of your feet to touch. No one is better than the other. No one is better than the other, right? You decide what you like today, and don't always do the same thing. Change it up. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. This is your fish pose on a restorative day, which is Thursday and Sunday. We do this pose, but we do it on a bolster, a big, thick, strong, supportive pillow. And we hold it for a longer period of time, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. Maybe you hold it for the entire practice. But come back and check out a Thursday or a Sunday practice. Buy a bolster in the meantime if you don't have one. And just let the pose feel good. Let your body relax into it. Shoulders away from your ears here. Now you can stay here longer if you want. Stay here through your final Shavasana. That's okay. It's all good. I am going to come into a final Shavasana, just hold space for you. You decide what you want to do. I'm going to roll off the blocks. Roll off your blocks. Don't try to sit up. It's no fun. Enjoy the sideways roll off the blocks. I'm going to come back onto my back, cover my eyes with my eye shade or my towel. I know some of you like to put a pillow underneath your neck, whatever you want. It's good. Share your tips in our group, private group, Friends of 316 Yoga on Facebook. Share your tips of how you like to do final Shavasana. All right, I'm going to wiggle my shoulders a little more together. I'm going to bring my arms down by my sides, heels to the bottom of my mat, pinky toes fall out to the sides of the mat. All right, don't run out on final Shavasana. This is the part of the practice where, we had the warm-up, we had the foundation, we had the core, all of that, the big muscles, the refinement, the static stretching. This is where your mind comes back and it absorbs all the goodness. It soaks in all that you did in this hour. Don't deny your body that time. Close your eyes. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Come back to a comfortable breathing pace for you. Soften your jaws, your eyebrows, your your shoulders. Soft. You're letting everything go. No tension, no worries, no hurries. Focus on peace. Softening your face and shoulders a little bit more. And as you practice with me, maybe you've come to have your remote control right by your shoulders, and you can hit the pause button and stay longer in this restorative pose. If it's time for you to conclude your practice, take a deep, refreshing breath in and a big sighing breath out. You're done. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move them however feels good, because you're your own best teacher. Remember that. What do you like? Do you like to circle the ankles and the wrists? Try it in all different directions. On an inhale, reach high up overhead and take a big good morning stretch. Stretch it out. Maybe you like to move one hand higher to the top of the mat than the other higher as you kind of like climb a rope. Stretch, feel it in your hips. However you move that feels good is a winner pose. Finish up. Lengthen up, point the toes, reach the fingers one last time. Exhale, bend your knees, bend your elbows, roll onto one hip. Enjoy getting there. Roll onto the hip, come into a fetal position. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Soften up in the other shoulder. Maybe eyes are closed. Breathe in, breathe out. This is your time. Don't deny yourself the pleasure of the peace on your mat. Slowly, if you're ready, eyes closed, use your hands or don't. It's up to you. Press on up to a comfortable seated position as you prepare to come back into this world. Sit comfortably, hands to prayer center in gratitude. Focus on how it feels. Press your thumbs into your chest, lengthen up. Exhale, soften up. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it. I think 1 hour went by fast. Good downward facing dog, Piper. She just knows when we're done, doesn't she? All right, so we took a stress number in the beginning. It's kind of a way for you to see how you've done. Come back to that number. What was it? And now what is it? Your yoga just feels better. It works on bringing the mind, the body, the breath, the spirit all together. You feel calmer, and that's good. That's really good in this crazy world. All right, so remember, be kind to you. That's kind of our of the month, kindness. Be kind to you. Take care of you. You got to take care of you first, and your yoga is great at that. Remember, you're your own best teacher. Listen to your body, and just show up. Show up for yourself. I'll hold this space for you. Show up. Do what feels good. And it's going to feel good, and you will get better. You will get better every single day and feel better every single day. I'll be here tomorrow to encourage you along in yet another yoga practice. Show up. From us to you, much love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hey, you. How are you? Hey, Bonnie. Good girl. This week, practice stillness. It's harder for some of us than others, but really try to practice stillness. Take some quiet time and listen to that inner voice that you have, because remember, you are your own best teacher. We're going to have a really fun practice on Thursday as we practice stillness. You'll learn a lot of things. So tell your friends about our yoga. It's free for anybody and everybody. Have them join us too. Let them have some of the fun. Let them share and enjoy in the goodness that we feel in our bodies. They can watch us on Facebook and YouTube live every day or catch a recording. If you'd like to support this broadcast, you can go to Facebook. Not go to Facebook, go to the website. I don't know, our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Check us out, support the broadcast if you'd like, and we'll see you on your mats tomorrow.